I keep talking about it, but this is where all of the new technology and the exciting stuff is coming through blockchain, and we have this great mechanism as well to raise money. So that's one thing. As I started really getting into the artificial intelligence and the virtual reality space, the augmented reality space, at first I thought, oh well, they have a bunch of money, and then I realized that actually they really didn't, or many of them did not. And they lack this funding mechanism that we have in blockchain. So, of course, we have a bunch of exciting people here. Hey, David, is that thing ready? Okay. All right. So we have Mr. Andrew Perel. He's going to talk. I was in some other country. I don't remember what country it was, and they were talking about gaming and tokens, and I said, oh yeah, you got the non-fungible things, and then the fungible, and this and that. Does anybody know what non-fungible means? Like 3 people maybe. It was really funny. All right, 4 people. So non-fungible, he's going to tell you all about it. But basically, a Bitcoin is a Bitcoin, right? A Bitcoin is a Bitcoin, and you send it. And all right, I'll let him explain it. He does it much better. But Andrew Perel, he's the CEO of Convergence of 4 Dimensions. Give him a good round of applause.
Thank you, Bruce. He's going to do my whole talk for me. So, I appreciate being out here today. I'm Andrew Perel with Convergence, and we're working on the Silicon Nexus project, which is basically converging the out-of-home entertainment industry with the consumer industry, allowing all devices to play in the same game space at the same time. So we have a team that is an all-star team that goes back, you can trace our lineage back to the original Atari, Nintendo, Namco, Sega, creators of the Xbox. I can go on and on and on about this team, but all of us have one thing in common. We want to reimagine the entire video game space, and several of these guys have already rebuilt the video game space more than 4 times. So let's look at the planet as a whole. There's 7.5 billion people on the planet, and there's almost 5 billion cell phones. I know, I've got 3 of them. But who knows how many people today are actively involved in blockchain? Anybody got a good guess? Because it ranges. Last estimate that I saw at several of these conferences was about 30 to 50 million people, which is it's about 0.5% penetration. Yet we're in this bubble that supposedly is too big and is going first. But let's explore that for a while. There's over 2.7 billion game players out there. How many here are game players? About 1/3 of the room, which is about 1/3 of the people on the planet, are game players. And a very interesting thing is coming down the pike for them. So this right here represents 50 million people in blockchain today, okay? And this is an argument that I've gotten into multiple times with multiple people here. I'd say argument, yeah, it's a good term for it. That's 1/10. Divided up into 1/10 of the ICOs that have come out. I've tried to do all of them, divided it up, and it just becomes one big white dot. So you can imagine, everybody says cryptos, the ICOs have hit the limit. It's because they're all fighting over the same number of people, the people that are already in crypto. And our point of view is that's fine. We're utilizing the blockchain to benefit our users or our game players. So the people that are in crypto, I don't know how many of them are gamers, there's a lot of them, but they pale in comparison to video games. Anybody know how many people downloaded and played Pokemon Go? Anybody in the room? Anybody in the room play Pokemon Go? Anybody, how many users? How many users did Pokemon Go get? Yeah, one game out of the millions that are out there. Try 800 million. 800 million for just one game. Okay? There are estimated 50,000 new games a week coming out. When you compare the number of tokens out there, the number of people in crypto as a whole, to the number of game players out there, it's not even a pimple on it. Well, it's a dot. So customer acquisition. What company out there does not need customer acquisition? Every business has to get customers. Blockchain is in need of customer acquisition. Consumer games, family entertainment centers, theme parks, malls and retail. Every company needs customer acquisition, and there's a piece coming out with the blockchain that can allow all of them to get customer acquisition together, and it's a unique feature. And what we're doing, remember, is marrying the consumer game industry to the out-of-home entertainment industry. Basically, all of these guys together, and we bring them together into one experience net. And we're going to do it with a global currency and non-fungible tokens. I was going to explain non-fungible tokens, but he was taking my thunder. Okay, the differences between fungible tokens and non-fungible tokens. Anybody know the true difference between them? I'm going to do it later. Okay, so forgive my very crude description. But basically, a Bitcoin, if I have a Bitcoin in my wallet and you have a Bitcoin in your wallet and we trade Bitcoins, can you notice any difference at all in them? Fungible tokens, there's no difference between them. Okay? Non-fungible tokens are unique identifiable assets. So if you have number one of a series of a crypto collectible, and I have number two in the series, and we trade, the blockchain knows you own number one, and now I own it, and I own the number two, and now you own it. They are uniquely identifiable. And that's really the difference between non-fungible and fungible. Did I come close? Okay. So non-fungible tokens to me are video game items. But something's really unique about them right now. Okay? Historically, in video games, you had to own the video game first, and then you grinded it out, and after 6 months of playing at 60 hours a week, you might get a really cool item that all your friends are envious about. And those items, anybody in here know the most expensive video game item ever sold, how much it went for? What? Club Never Die? What was it they bought and how much? I don't know. Planet Calypso, Club Never Die, Planet Calypso turned it into Club Never Die, $6 million, one video game item. Okay, I know a kid that got ripped off for over $80,000 worth of video game items when he was trying to convert it to cash. His mom didn't know he had that much. He didn't know he had that much. But video game items can get, individual video game items can get up into the tens of thousands of dollars for one item. Because it could take somebody a year and a half to get that item, and then there's only 5 of them in a game that 20 million people play. So it gets very sought after. It's kind of one way of thinking about it is the equation of time versus money. If you've got a lot of money but don't have time to catch up with your friends, well, you can buy a bunch of these big items and you can kind of catch up with your friends, that kind of thing. The unique thing that's happening with non-fungible tokens is they're no longer tied to have to live only exclusively in the video game. They can live outside the video game. I liken it to Magic the Gathering trading cards. If anybody's familiar with that, or Pokemon cards, the actual physical cards. Kids could put them in their trade binder, bring them to school, and trade during recess, absent of playing the game. You can't do that with a video game today, but now with non-fungible tokens, you can. Your cell phone, which he has my cell phone, can become your trading binder. And the cool part is you get a really cool item that all your buddies are talking about. That's the most awesome item in the world, but you've never played the game. What are you going to do? You can go out and get the game. So basically the way the family entertainment system works, one point to note is that 75% of revenue in the $138 billion consumer game industry, 75% roughly, is made up of video game items, downloadable content. 75% of the Family Entertainment Center revenue is made up of what's called redemption items. Basically, you trade the tickets for the items, you take them home. People want something for their efforts. So here, ooh, that's kind of messed up a little bit, but you spend your money up front. This is a unique thing in retail, is it's the only place I know of that you've spent your money's gone, and now you have to go choose what you want for that money. So you have a pile of tickets, and then you go over to the redemption counter and you trade it for prizes that suck. I'm sorry, prizes. And what we want to do is use that as player acquisition as a service, and offering a redemption robot for prizes that don't suck. Blockchain items that they've already spent their money and they want something. We've got the magic of video to talk to the players and say, hey, take me home with you. You don't want that plushie on the counter there, you want to take me home. And they have to make a choice because mom's yelling at them to come get in the car. So they can download that, get it on their phone, and then at home they can download the game and play it. Player acquisition as a service for the consumer game industry. Also with unique non-fungible tokens, player acquisition as a service for the Family Entertainment Center. And that's our phase one. Once we seed the town, well, let me back up a little bit in this. We're working with a partner that deals with, anybody ever see a fun card? In December alone, do you know how much of this card's technology, this one company, in December alone, how many players exchange tickets for prizes around the world? Anybody got a stab? In 1 month, over 100 million players are trading tickets for prizes. How many people are in blockchain again? Exactly. So that's the power that can come to the blockchain industry, that the blockchain industry has at the potential that is sitting there untapped. So we're going to seed towns with people that understand, that will learn about getting these video game items and get them sought after and understanding it some bit. And then we go to phase two, and that is our Pokemon Go with a purpose. Sarah, Silica Nexus augmented reality app, named itself. What it's designed to do is, through these non-fungible tokens, is drive people to physical locations and engage them with those locations and have them spend our cryptocurrency there. So we have a unique global currency that you can use in these family entertainment centers. Think of like a Chuck E. Cheese, a David Buster, Time Zone. Not only to play the video games, but also to buy your coffee, to buy your dinner, etc. So this is very powerful. Pokemon had something like this to a point, but they had no way to throttle it. They did a deal with a McDonald's. They had like 3 McDonald's in a chain, and they shut those McDonald's down because they put unique Pokemon there. 3,000 people, overwhelmed that McDonald's, and people couldn't get to the drive-thru. So they kicked them out. We can throttle this kind of thing through GameQuest to where we run exactly what that specific utility can, or facility can handle, like maybe 40 people every 10 minutes. And if that's too much, they can throttle it down to 20 or throttle it up to 80 on their off time. So player acquisition as a service is very, very powerful. And the clicker died. Somebody touched the screen and the clicker died now. Can you advance the slide for me, please? Arrow down, maybe? Yeah, see, once you put the mouse thing up there, I think you killed my clicker. Oh. Yeah, just run that slide right there. Good. All right, so this is our tokenomics. I don't know how good I'm doing on time here. So, but what we're doing is 25% of our tokens are going to launch all of this, and then from that point on, we use them to invest in content for the ecosystem. And when I say content, that's like new video games. It's like helping out family entertainment centers to take our stuff in, et cetera, et cetera. And we reward players for playing those games. All right, we have contracts to be listed. We're not doing an ICO. We're going straight to the exchanges, and then we're trickling our tokens out to the market as they need it. There's a cap of the total amount that we can use, but the only ways to get our tokens are to play the games, build the games, support the ecosystem, or from somebody who has done those. So we're not doing an ICO. We're using it as the grease in our engine for our ecosystem, with the way it should be. We also are supporting fan clubs, these cross-reality crypto clubs, with our tokens. We're looking for some in every city around there, so if somebody wants to help create one of those fan clubs, we'll support it with our tokens. And we have an annual conference run for the unicorns. That's where I met Bruce here. Bruce, was that a good conference?
That was awesome, and we had Mr. Lawrence Harrison and Bessie there too.
Yeah. We do it during Derby Week in Louisville, Kentucky, and we have a blast. We do an investor dinner on Monday. We do a Bourbon with Billionaires Bourbon Trail on Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday is the conference. Friday we go to the Oaks. Friday night we have the Unicorn Ball. And Saturday we all go to the Derby. Was that worth going?
It was awesome. Totally awesome.
So, yeah, this is how you get involved. I'll be over here in the corner. Any questions, please ask. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Give them a round of applause for